It's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old. And I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow.
So look, she could be joking, like making a joke about getting older, and maybe people could have taken that too far. But people obviously have their concerns because in each video, she doesn't seem herself. She hasn't seemed herself in a very long time. You have to understand, this woman was forced into a conservatorship. I personally believe she was having a breakdown because the paparazzi wouldn't leave her alone and she wanted privacy. Let's not laugh at what happened to Britney Spears.
There's a fireplace. We could put some chestnuts on there and roast them. Chestnuts roasting. No, you go down. Chestnuts roasting. Wait, you down? Yes. Okay, what do you want to do?
Silent night.
In 2019, Britney fans from all over the world raised their voices to fight for her. The Free Britney movement gained massive traction, and finally in 2021, Britney Spears got her freedom. At least that's what it looked like on paper.
My voice was muted and threatened for so long, and I wasn't able to speak up or say anything.
However, behind the scenes, insiders reported that things only got worse because Britney was reportedly trapped in a loop that circles all the way back to Jeffrey Epstein. And this type of loop is not one that is so easily escaped. After the release of the Epstein files, investigators found an email exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Dr. Mark Tramo discussing Britney Spears. And according to alleged confessions from Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. Most of Hollywood was allegedly in on this, even people whom Britney considered her friends in the industry.
Here's the thing, what I believe, that you are a huge celebrity. And I think, just run the stop sign, who cares? Run it. Okay. You need to take advantage of your celebrity.
Okay.
You park right there, just stop. Yeah, all right? Excuse me, we're celebrities, we have to go through it, we're celebrities. We're big celebrities, thank you. See, that's what you do.
I'm talking about during the time that you were working for Jeffrey Epstein. Right. Can you list all the girls that you found for Jeffrey Epstein that were under the age of 18 to work for him in any capacity?
Check the form of foundation.
So I didn't find gals, I didn't get them. You choose the word.
Well, no, you don't choose the word.
The emails showed Jeffrey Epstein and Dr. Mart hinting at a potential project involving Britney Spears while she was being held at the UCLA Resnick Psychiatric Hospital. Dr. Tramo works at the UCLA Gurgen School of Medicine, which is linked to Resnick Hospital, where Britney was kept. In 2011, Mark Tramo wrote to Jeffrey Epstein, "The salary would free me up to write some grants. For example, my new pal at Universal Music has offered to send Britney Spears the neonatal ICU project." Fast forward to 2013, and another email comes up in the Epstein files. This time the sender is redacted, and it says that Britney Spears did it. All of this reportedly happened during Britney Spears' conservatorship, a time when her legal guardian controlled her personal life, healthcare, and multi-million-dollar estates. But here's where things start to get really messy. The same firm that controlled Britney's finances, schedule, her medication, even her phone was also managing Diddy. It was Tristar Sports and Entertainment Group, an organization founded by a woman named Lou Taylor. And according to court documents, Lou Taylor didn't just manage Britney's money. They allegedly had a hand in almost every part of her life. A security team was even hired on Britney's own dime to monitor her phone and allegedly record her inside her own bedroom. Now, Tristar has denied any wrongdoing. They've said Britney Spears' conservatorship was recommended by legal counsel, not by them, and that a court approved it for over a decade. But here's the thing about conservatorships. They operate almost entirely behind closed doors. Family court, sealed filings, the public doesn't get to see what's really happening until someone finally speaks up. And Britney did speak up. For years, fans noticed something was off. Cryptic Instagram posts, canceled performances, then that infamous Free Britney movement that started as internet speculation and turned into a full-blown investigation. And when the dust settled, what came out was almost worse than anyone imagined. But it's the Diddy connection that really raises eyebrows because one name kept showing up in both stories. Robin Greenhill, a services director at Tristar. In lawsuits filed against Diddy, Greenhill was named as someone allegedly involved in facilitating cash payments. Allegations she has not been criminally charged over and which she hasn't publicly responded to. She was the same person Britney would later call in her own memoir, her conservator's weird lackey. Two of the most talked about names in entertainment. Two completely different scandals. One shared thread. Is it a coincidence that the same firm touched both of these situations? Hollywood is a small world and business managers often have overlapping client lists. But when you line up what happened to Britney, the control, the surveillance, the silence next to what we now know about Diddy, it's hard not to see the dots add up. And that's where Ellen DeGeneres comes into the mix. Because on the surface, it looked like she was helping Britney out. But according to reports, Ellen was allegedly part of a broader scheme of control and surveillance. Throughout her show, P. Diddy has been one of her most invited guests, and some of their conversations hint to a much closer relationship than what we see on the screens.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
Then there's also Jennifer Aniston and Justin Bieber, with a record reaching over 30 visits.
Everybody loves Jennifer, and she'll text me and say, I know something, Wednesday night if you want. I'll be like, come on, we just did that Saturday thing. We don't have to do too.
She likes to. She's busy all the time. I know she's the greatest host, but
she is a good.
I'm going to bed at 9. I can't come over. Your thing starts at 8:30. So
yes, she can handle it. She can handle it. And her parties are incredible at her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza.
When I have a job, then what happens is that they have to kiss me sometimes. We've discussed this many times.
Right.
But when I don't have a job, nobody. Uh-oh, did you see? No! Oh my God!
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When he signed to Usher,
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
When you tie these occurrences to Ellen's obsession with pizza and the background of her show, allegedly bearing striking to a structure on Jeffrey Epstein's island, the picture that begins to come into play further reads into the narrative.
I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza, and so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison?
Did you know that Ellen DeGeneres' stage set is exactly the same as on Epstein Island, with all the couches, the same colour, the same soft furnishings, palm trees, window, everything to the T? And I'm like,
really?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh.
According to reports, a strikingly similar structure is alleged to be on Naomi Campbell's island, which is shaped in the Eye of Horus. For context, Naomi Campbell's name comes up thousands of times in the Epstein files, even though she has now denied any wrongdoing and publicly dismissed her ties to the disgraced financier and business mogul. According to the receipts, Naomi took dozens of flights back and forth on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane, Lolita Express. Both of them also allegedly met up for private meetings quite frequently.
I'm still shocked that there's nothing about Naomi Campbell really coming forward yet. I'm surprised. I'm like bitterly surprised. Her ties.
Yeah, they said her name was on the list like the most as far as like flight records.
Yeah.
She was on a lot of flights.
A lot of flights.
You mentioned
also Diddy's ex-girlfriend.
When you tie this to the fact that Naomi Campbell and P. Diddy dated for a couple of years during their 20-year-long friendship, everything starts coming into place. But hold on, because it gets even more interesting. P. Diddy and Naomi Campbell are also known to have shared a bond with another controversial name in the industry, Harvey Weinstein, a name that has now been connected with a nefarious organization known as Black Cube. The same organization that reportedly worked behind the scenes to keep Britney Spears caged in for years of her life.
Take us through the average day of working for Harvey Weinstein.
So at the beginning, the original list of names that he wanted investigated was small compared to how it ended up. And there were, say, 6 or 7 people, mostly men, a couple of women on the list, and they were all very high level.
In recent times, Kanye West also exposed that his personal trainer, Harley Pasnak, was a part of an organization that was keeping him medicated and limiting his speech and movements for decades. Harley reportedly sent messages to Kanye threatening to have him institutionalized again, where they'd medicate the out of him and send him back to zombies. It is now believed that Harley Pasnak is related to Black Cube, and that this was the same organization that shielded Britney Spears for years.
But you've taken control. You're more in control of your music than before?
Yes.
Why did it take you so long? Why did you wait till now to do it?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but I won't get into the whole story, but...
Well, we know a lot of the whole story, so we don't have to go over the whole story, or, what we think.
More investigation has been going into the ties between Jeffrey Epstein, Ellen Maxwell, and Hollywood. And from everything that has now been uncovered, both worlds are not as far apart as we think. And according to sources, Britney Spears was a victim of both of them. A world centered around control, image, and something more sinister lurking in the backdrop. If the claims that Ghislaine Maxwell is ready to name drop everyone associated in Jeffrey Epstein's circle, including individuals who had to stay quiet silently during the tension, is there anyone that would remain untouched? Because right now, investigators are saying that the hierarchy of Hollywood allegedly goes from predator to prey and in the lines between witnesses. So, if Britney Spears endured all this for decades, who fell at the other far end of the line and who stayed in between? At the moment, more information is still being uncovered. However, we would like to know what you think about these associations. Because if Britney Spears rotated in the same circles that allegedly got to Kanye West, Justin Bieber, and many more celebrities, then the question of authenticity existing in Hollywood would be a facade. We want to know what you think about all of these down in the comments. And while you're sharing your thoughts, experiences, or opinions, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.